And now, Kyle and Steven present another episode of the Go F Yourself podcast.
It's Fix.
Really? Well, that's embarrassing. The Go Fix Yourself podcast.
What is going on, people? We are back for another episode of Go Fix Yourself.
Oh, man. It feels good to be back.
It does. It feels like it's been a year. My neck hurts from headbanging to that intro. But actually, it's not. I'm just getting really old.
I was going to say,
I'm always sore.
We'll get into this, but I was just down in New York visiting family, and they're like, hey, is the band still doing stuff? And I'm like, no. And I'm kind of glad because, like, even when I was early 20s, I would wake up with a bangover after shows.
That's a real thing that people
now
people think you're joking.
Yeah, no, it's a serious thing. It's a serious issue.
The old stiff neck.
It's nobody takes it serious. It's like blue balls. They think a lot of people think it's a joke, and it's like no.
It's real.
It is real. It's a real thing. But like I remember waking up and feeling bad, but now I don't need to do anything, and I just wake up and feel bad.
I know. I've had a chronic case of, I think, texter's neck or like computer, like where I'm looking down a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's catching up to me.
Yeah. I'm the same way, but I had an accident in 2009. And so fucked up my neck. And so now every time I like strain my neck, like you just said, looking down or looking up or whatever, it just like shoots up to my head and I just have the worst headache. Ugh.
Getting old is fun.
I think it is to a point. There are some days, I don't know if maybe this is just me, but when you were a kid, you're like, man, I just can't wait to be an adult. I can make all my own decisions. I can, wake up whenever I want, kind of whatever
I want.
Yeah. And then some days I still have the inkling of like, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I made it.
I'm ready to die. That's what I think a lot. I am ready to go.
What would be like the best way for you to go out?
An explosion.
Yeah, just like quick.
I don't know.
Just be like action movie, and you're like,
yeah,
that's a bomb.
I feel like that would be boring.
Yeah, Kyle died in an explosion.
I kind of feel like I want a quick death. I'd love, the comforting part of me would love the quick death, dying in your sleep or something like that.
Yep.
But part of me wants something pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Oh, no, I definitely do. I want to go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
I think that has like, we're all like, we want to be remembered. And it's like, if I'm not remembered, like if I don't do anything up until I die that's like worth remembering, like whatever, just being one of the greats, I want to go out and be like, yo, you remember that dude who was like on top of a train and then they went through a tunnel and then he just smacked the wall or something,
Yeah. He was really cool.
I want to be forgotten. It doesn't matter if it's a cool way to go or a dumb way to go. I would be remembered.
It's true. I always think about...
They probably named the tunnel after me.
That's the old cornhole. That's what they call it. I think about a way that would be very exciting, but very, very terrifying and scary, would be in a plane where it either broke apart and you got sucked out with your seat and you're still attached to your seat.
I think about that time. Every time I'm in a plane, I think about that.
I play through that every time.
Oh, man, I do too.
And I just love to think about it because you're like, oh, I'd probably be really brave.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you'd be like...
No. I would I'd pee my pants.
I mean, just the speed. I mean, you're going 500 miles an hour and then you like fly out of there. It'd just be crazy.
Yeah, no, it's funny because every time I'm in a plane, I have to come to terms with the fact that if it does happen,
every time.
if some fucking idiot that's in the exit row is like, what's this handle do? And it's just, the door goes out of the exit row and then everybody's just getting sucked out. It's like, that is a choice I make to get on the plane and be okay with that. If it happens, it happens.
I wonder if that's how it happens, though. That seems like too easy for somebody to just really kill everybody by just pulling a lever.
Well,
you know
I don't think
mean?
they would. I don't think they would kill everybody. I think it would just
not
like
kill, but like like start sucking people out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's really. That might be some Hollywood.
I was gonna say
like
it's very Lost. You remember like Lost? That's where my mind goes.
Lost.
Okay, well, the first episode, everybody there's a plane crash and people are getting sucked out, and it's like that's where my mind kind of goes. It's just like you see that happen and just
The
people
Hollywood kind of like
yeah. I don't think it would happen like that, but I think that dude, I think they would struggle for sure. The people closest, and then the rest of us would be like, oh, you fucking idiots! Like now it's just like we're gonna have to emergency land,
and
we're gonna have to go down
ruin this trip.
But the good thing about it is we'll be able
going
to
down the slide.
Exactly. It's like who has ever seen that happen in real life and gotten to go down the slide?
I haven't got to go down it.
Yeah. That's the thing. That would be like, there's an upside to this.
Yeah, or like in some of the movies where the plane's still moving, like on the runway, and the slide comes out, and they have to shoot down the slide out onto the pavement.
Yeah,
seen that.
I listened to a podcast where they were like, I wonder what that's like, and so they actually were in talks with the airport, the local airport, to do this, and actually figured it out. And literally, they were just gonna like be on the tarmac and then let the people kind of jump off on the slides, but they like were very adamant about letting everybody know, please do not have weak ankles, because what you pick up speed apparently on those slides, and so you're going down, and then like if you literally lock your ankles, you're gonna break your ankles almost. So basically, like they say, like lean forward, and then when you land, basically get ready to run, kind of thing, like right. A running stop, I guess.
Yeah, almost like a slide.
Don't just like go down there and like a slide. You're just stopping right at the end. It's like, no. You're going to have some momentum going.
Ma'am, you have the biggest cankles I've ever seen. You're going to be just fine. Those things.
Get down there. Yeah. Let's go.
You don't even have to start running.
Yeah.
Those things will stop you. That's kind of fun. You just got back from New York.
Yeah, I did.
The old Big Apple 212. It is. I looked it up.
It's 607 is where I'm from.
Yeah, but we don't care where you're from. We care about NYC.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. No,
Yeah.
And that's
is there another city?
That is the
in
funny
New
thing.
York?
When I moved up to Alaska, New York is to a lot of people is very dreamlike. It's just like, wow, that is so cool. The city, it's always happening. There's lights and there's entertainment, and in Times Square, it's a very like surreal thing for people. And so, especially coming up here when I was young, I'd be like, I'm from New York, and they're like, oh,
New York.
yeah. And so they would just start asking questions about New York City. And at that time, I had only been in New York City like once or twice in my life.
Yeah.
And so they don't realize that New York is like way bigger than just the city. But I never corrected people.
Yeah, it's like assuming somebody's from Nevada, so you're like, oh, you
Las
live in
Vegas?
Vegas?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, there's a lot of other cities.
But
in
it's
Nevada.
funny, as a kid, I was just like, yeah, I'm from New York. Oh, what's this like there? Is it really like, is it always loud? Oh, no, not really. It's just like, I was
not in Albany, it's pretty low.
Yeah. So, no, I went down for a wedding, I think I talked about this last week. And, it's just good because there were some family members I haven't seen in about 10 years or so. So I got to catch up with them. And, COVID, I haven't seen a lot of people. And so it just felt good to go down and see everybody. And, and usually when I go down to New York, I am the only Alaskan that I know of for at least, at least 100-mile radius. Yeah, I'd like to think so.
You have an app like...
Is there another Alaskan?
Fellow Alaskan app?
Get out of my radius.
Yeah.
So I'm at this wedding, and basically they're like, and I take pride. I was like, I'm coming down. I've traveled the farthest. Clearly, I've traveled the farthest. I'm coming from fucking Alaska. Like, I am far. Hear me roar.
Yeah.
I want to wear that badge, right? And I get there. They're like, oh, yeah, there's a couple from London. And then there's also a couple from Kodiak, Alaska. And I was like, out of all the places, I was like, Kodiak, Alaska.
That's way more remote than where you're from.
Way more. Then they had to travel up to Anchorage to get out of there. And so I was kind of bummed that I was not
You weren't exotic.
I wasn't the you see that guy in the corner like being emo and not talking to anybody? He's from Alaska.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't that guy.
Nope.
And so I got to talk to the people from Alaska. And I stopped them and I said, "Hey, I'm bummed and I'm pissed that there's other people because I like to be the only Alaskan, and that's kind of fun, and that's kind of makes me popular."
That's your one interesting thing about you.
My one thing, and you took it away from me. God damn it.
Yeah.
No, anyway, it was fun. I didn't say that, but basically, we're like, "Oh, what do you do?" And cool. Literally, so
videographer. They're better videographers.
I said filmmaker.
What'd they say? They said we're both filmmakers.
Oh, yeah. I was like, fuck.
We have 12 movies.
No, they're fishermen, and then so literally we found that out. And she's like, "Oh, excited." I'm like, "Oh, okay, your film, maybe we'll have to come bring it down to Kodiak and film stuff for it." I was like, "Oh, that'd be cool." And then her second question was like, "What do you think of our governor?"
Really?
We're at a very divisive time in Anchorage, or at least in Alaska politically. And I was like, that is what you want to go for? And I told her, I was like, I just met you. And I was like, I don't want to get into this.
Yeah.
I was like, that is no. It's like, I don't care who you voted for or whatever. But yeah, she wanted to get into it. She kept being like, I'm a bleeding heart Republican and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, whatever. Good for you. I was like, I'm stoked on that. But I was like, she was looking for a fight.
Yeah, especially when she heard you're a filmmaker.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that look for fights nowadays. But I was just kind of interested, like, really? That was your second question? Like, your follow-up to what do you do is, what do you think of the governor?
Steven, you're a filmmaker. What's your thoughts on abortion?
It's just like, man, and, I could tell she wanted to go farther into like Alaskan politics. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to talk politics right now. I want to just get to know you. And so we switched business cards, and it was a nice little chat.
See you later.
Yeah, it was a nice little chat. But no, man. And then the rest of the trip was just hanging out with the fam, getting to see my little niece.
Yeah.
And it's
Uncle
like
Steven.
Yeah, I've only seen this niece like 3 times in my life almost. So it's like I'm gonna go down to New York to see her more.
Gotcha.
Right. So yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun. What did you do this week?
What did I do?
Did you get your Peloton yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't got my call. It's who knows? It could be this week, could be next week. I don't know.
Man,
but
I thought you would have had it by now.
No, it takes like 2 to 4 weeks, is what they say.
It's too long. I've
already given up on working out.
I was gonna say I would have lost motivation the first week, and we're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm gonna cancel the order. It's passed.
Yeah,
it's passed.
I'm good.
I started watching. I'm doing 31 days of horror movies.
Yeah, I've been following you on this journey on Instagram.
I've really realized it's hard to rate movies.
Rape movies or rate?
R-A-T as in T-E.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like,
it's all subjective. It's all subjective.
It's subjective, and it's like, are you basing it off of what you just watched? And subliminally, you're like, well, I just watched a crappy one or a really good one, so the next movie is therefore better or worse.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I hate rating movies, but I feel like you have to give something that people can be like, oh, I should watch it or shouldn't watch it.
Yeah. I rate movies. I rate every movie I see.
Yeah.
Out of 5-star scale.
Out of 5?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was going to do 5, but that's too hard.
Why? Because you think there's so much more length?
Well, because 3, what is 3? That sounds terrible.
That's like easy, medium, and hard, right? Kind of like, that's like good. That's like good, not at all good. You know what I mean? Or something like that.
Right. So it's like, if I was to rate you on an attractive scale and I said ugly, normal, supermodel.
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't really give you a lot of room for nuance.
Where am I on that scale?
Ugly. But I mean, like, but you know what I mean? It's like there's no room for like a medium.
Okay, yeah. So what are you rating them out
of 10?
Out of 10. 1 out of 10. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Or how we used to judge girls, and this is not probably nice. Was the alphabet scale?
Probably not. PC. According to today.
Whatever. We all rate
we
people
did
based
it.
on how
we all did it.
But you do the alphabet, A to Z, because that gives you 26 levels.
Wait a minute. Explain this rating system to me. A to Z?
Yeah. So like
Be like, oh, that's
A is like, or whatever.
A is like a 10. I've always heard of 1 to 10.
A would be a 26. Like it would be the best.
Oh, okay. So you're
because even 1 to 10 is still like,
and then a Z is like,
I don't know, Dad. I like,
yeah,
because a 1 to 10, like a 5 does not sound good.
I mean, no, it's not. Because
even though that
if
would
you
be
think about
average,
it's 50%.
Right.
So like a 50% test, you're not really passing.
No,
at 50%.
Right. And so it's like, at least if you gave her like, something like an N, that's like in the middle.
That's pretty good.
And it doesn't like have this numerical like value to it. You're just like, you're kind of like an N. So like right in the middle.
And I think no one's used to that rating system.
Especially when you tell the girl that. You're kind of like an L.
You're slightly pretty.
Yeah. I'll never live that one down.
That's a story.
And she was a very nice girl.
Yeah. She was great. But, why don't we just story time it right now? Story time with Kyle.
I got to remember some of the details. I know we were in Nashville because we were seeing Jordan.
We were on tour.
Yep. And we decided to stay at our buddy Jordan, Conklin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
good old Jordan Nash.
He let us stay at his place, and he had two friends over, one friend over.
Yeah, we partied so hard that night. Because it was like he had to wake up early in the morning, but he was so excited that we were there. So we're like, let's party.
Let's drink.
Yeah.
And we drank a lot.
Oh, man, it was a lot. Yeah.
And there was a girl there. I'll leave the name out. And we were out on the front porch, and
we were smoking on the front, or at least I was, there was a few of us smoking on the front porch. And so people came out and we were getting some fresh air. And then you could tell that this girl found you attractive.
Yeah. We were hitting it off.
You could see the chemistry between you two. Mm-hmm. And I thought she was really cute.
She was.
Yep. And I was like, this is perfect. Like, actually, Kyle, like she's great, you should go for this. And then I think, we were having a good conversation, and I don't remember how the conversation got to this point.
Sure. That's a blur to me too.
Yeah. But you were trying to compliment her, but kind of like flirt with her. But it came off like so bad. And then, do you remember exactly what you said?
I said that she was sort of pretty.
I remember verbatim, slightly pretty.
Slightly pretty.
You're slightly pretty.
Yeah. And it was everybody went quiet.
Well, yeah, because we knew what I knew what you meant. Like you were trying to tell her she's pretty.
Right.
You were trying to tell her, but you didn't want to come off too strong. And so you kind of dialed it down a little bit, and you were like, "Well, you're slightly pretty."
Yeah,
which
yeah.
That was more
the tone. You're slightly pretty.
Yeah, you fugly.
I think Stephanie was standing right there. Was like,
It was like a pin drop, dude. It was like if people were dropping glasses, like jaws were dropping. It was a moment like, oh my God, did he just say that?
Yeah.
So. Knowing what you meant, I knew what you meant. I knew what you were going for, and I still think about this moment. She did not, this girl.
Yeah,
she did not like
go
that.
Well.
No, and if there was any inkling of, future baby daddy, there was nothing. Immediately, it went from maybe an 80% to 0.
But I'll tell you what happened. But after that, I remember. The rest of the night went on. We played more drinking games.
Yeah.
I woke up the next day and I threw up in his kitchen sink while he was I was so not feeling good. The next day.
We were all drunk.
Yeah, it was bad.
We all got
but then we got in our van and started driving to the next place.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in the back and I get a ding on my phone.
Oh, and it was her.
It was her.
I think I do remember that being like, oh my God.
Yeah, because I told Stephanie.
How did that work?
I was like, see?
Yeah.
I was like,
well, isn't that the thing? Like, if you try too hard or you come off like, oh, I need to have you, they don't want you.
Right.
But if you're like, well, I can live life without you, and I'm fine with that. And then that's what makes them.
Yeah, the one thing that I hate about that, and I hate that. I think we're still Facebook friends after all these years. But whatever.
I see once in a while she pops up.
And this is where that comes from. You see those dating coaches where you got to neg the girl, put them down. And I'm like, I absolutely hate that.
Yeah, me too.
But there must be some ounce of truth to that.
They say, because I used to watch these guys because I
pretty funny.
pickup artists.
Yeah, what was his name? Do you remember? It's not like it was some tall, lanky guy. And he always wore a cowboy hat.
Dude,
and he looked like a super
looked
douche.
super dumb, but like they would like video him talking to girls publicly.
Right.
And like they would mic him up and then blur the girl's face, but like he was consistent on picking up girls.
Yeah.
Whether he got them
Well, who cares? I mean,
before or after, like, and he told him what was going on, but like so I would watch these and try to be like, oh, how does he pick up girls? How does he do this? And it was all like, you know, pretend like you don't want them.
yeah.
But like I can go about life as I am now, or you can come with me. Like, I don't really care though.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it was.
Yeah.
At least for some of it.
And that is not something we are advocating for.
We do not
or
condone
anything.
that. Yeah. That activity is not good.
Yeah. We have lashed ourselves to our own ponies now.
Yes.
And we are no longer.
And calling people slightly pretty probably isn't super good. It's slightly not good.
It's slightly not the best pickup
Yeah.
line. So that was just a funny little story, but
Yeah.
yeah. Where did that all come from?
I don't know.
That came from
I don't remember. It wasn't even
we
planned.
were talking about movies.
Yeah.
That are rating systems.
Oh,
for
rating
movies. There
system.
we go.
Man, good ring back, man. Ring it back in.
That took a while. So back to the movies.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of them, and I've realized that I'm a piece of trash. I've had time to watch a movie
just now
every
figuring
day.
that out?
Yeah, you're still a piece of garbage. And I've managed to watch a movie every day. Like,
okay.
But I've been working at night, like my job.
Yeah.
And then I'll like watch a movie while I'm working. So I'm kind of like, you know,
You're not in the zone. You're not like focused
super
100%.
focused.
So for scary movies, it's kind
taking
of
a
dumbed
little
down
bit
a
away from the experience, but I've watched a couple gems so far.
What's like the all right? So you know we're only a little bit.
Yeah, we
but
can.
Like, tell us what the number one movie that you've watched so far that you're like, this is it. Now you told me about one that you're like, you have to watch this.
Yeah.
And so I actually today you were like, have you watched? You literally this morning actually I was on my way into the office and then you're like, you have to watch this. I'm like, okay, I'll add it to the list maybe this weekend or whatever.
Oh yeah, because I watched
and then
it last
like
night.
you called me a couple hours ago, but a couple hours after you told me and you're like, have you watched it yet? I was like, no, I haven't. No. So this is I'm thinking. That one is the one that you're like number one on right now.
No, it would be up there though. It's one of my favorite, but I had seen it before. I did watch one that I hadn't watched before that I thought was really good.
Okay, tell the people what that one is, and then tell people what you think is the number one so far. And you know, it's on the high horse.
The one that I watched, I think was the best so far, is His House on Netflix. A Netflix movie.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I hadn't either, but it kept showing up
in
a lot
of... big house.
Yep, it's about Jesus.
With lots and lots of room. A big table with lots and lots of food.
Man, that song makes me just...
Big yard where we can play football.
What was that? Stereo or radio?
Audio Adrenaline.
Audio Adrenaline.
Audio Adrenaline.
God dang, that brings me back to some dark
It's my
days.
father's house. Okay, continue. His house.
Yes, His House, and it's about two Sudanese immigrants that are escaping a civil war. So they come to England to get away from this, and England basically gives them some sort of like immigrant housing to stay in.
Okay.
And they go into this housing, and some weird stuff starts happening. That's all I'll say. So it's kind of like these people that are down on their luck from Africa.
Okay.
Come to England, and then they experience more stuff that's like bad.
It's like, come on.
I know.
We just can't win.
I know. It was one of those movies where I was just like, you feel so bad for the characters.
Yeah.
Because you're like, they don't have... Jesus, come on, man. They just got beat up for nothing. Like,
they got nothing, man.
But I thought the special effects in it were really good. And it was creepy.
Was it really creepy?
It almost had Jordan Peele vibes to it.
Oh, interesting.
Like kind of like a Us or
Us was creepy.
Like that kind of vibe.
Get Out was creepier, I think, for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely more Us vibe,
Yeah.
where it was like the alternate people were like kind of creepy.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah, okay.
Like it just had a vibe like that. But Good movie. I was like, oh,
so that's your number one
so
right now?
far as of the week.
You know what you should do? You should go on Instagram and like be like, okay, these are the movies ranked. Like,
Oh,
here's
yeah,
the ones
at the
I
end,
watch.
I plan on being like, this is the order.
Or you could just do it now and be like, this is number one now, but something might knock it off.
Yeah.
What do you guys recommend?
I'll probably do something like that towards the end because I don't think I'm actually going to probably watch one on Halloween. I'll be like doing something like 30 days of videos.
You're going to watch a comedy on Halloween.
I'm going to need to like decompress after because I'm like, just there's a lot of blood and knives.
And I think that we've talked about that before because it's like, if I'm consuming, what was it, Dexter?
Yeah.
I watched a lot of Dexter when I was growing up in high school, and I started adding weird, violent shit into my speech, like, let's just kill that guy with an axe. And my friends would look at me and be like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, this is affecting.
Then I'm gonna cut him apart.
Just like, this is actually affecting like my head and how I go about the world. So sometimes I have to take.
You gotta cleanse a little bit.
Yeah, I can't do. I don't think I can do what you do.
Yeah.
Going and watching a movie, a scary movie every day. 30 days.
I will say 2 movies that I will say one to definitely watch and one to definitely not watch is the movie I told you about, Creep.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's just like, I don't know what it is. There's something so like gritty and just amateurish about it, but it's good.
It seems like I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, it's like a found footage kind of like movie.
For me, found footage movies
I hate them, usually.
Oh my gosh, they're just so much realer to me or something.
But they're usually like bad. Like nobody moves a camera the way that they move in found footage. Like you don't usually look with the camera, right?
Right.
Most people are looking with their eyes and forget that they have a camera if something is happening.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why ghost videos and like supernatural stuff, not real. Because no one would be like having a camera and seeing something and be like looking with the camera. They'd be looking with their eyes.
And then the camera's the camera's like off to like the right. You're like, move it.
Yeah.
Move the camera.
How many times have you watched something like sports or something and you're like, well, I should be like having the camera up there. You look with your eyes, not with the camera.
Yeah.
It's just
that would be interesting to add that into the script we're writing right now. That kind of vibe, that feeling like of just like, constant like, realness happening to it.
What
basically
would actually happen?
Yes. This would exactly what you just said. We would be like focused more on like not
capturing
filming.
Yeah,
my brain is going all
You're talking about my show that I want to come out, The Night the Devil Came.
The devil came inside.
No, the night the devil came.
Yeah, that's actually pretty funny. Just the title is so stupid.
It would be good.
It's like that movie trailer, the
hand job,
the hand job ghosts.
Welcome to Hand Job Cabin.
It's just so funny.
It was really good too.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Halloween's coming. Watch a lot of scary movies, and I'm gonna detox after that.
What's going to be the first movie you watch? You're gonna go to Marvel movies.
No,
watch them all in order. Iron Man 1 and continue.
I'm gonna take a break from TV. I'm just gonna read. I think for a while and just forget TV for at least a while. I feel like I've wasted too much time. I did give you some homework for your trip, and that was to listen to Sleep Token.
Yes.
How about an update on that? What'd you think?
I mean, here's the thing. I listened to the one album all the way through.
Okay.
And I was on Delta. And Delta, for me, might be one of the best, better airlines because it's like, honestly, all TVs, right? Everybody's got their own TV and they got really good content and entertainment. And so I had, the top entertainment right at my fingertips.
Yep.
And basically I chose to listen to Sleep Token because I was like, listening to it while you get on the plane. And I just listened to this whole album all the way through.
Right.
And I don't do that very much. Sometimes I'll take a break and write or read or do something. But no, I listen to it all the way through, like close my eyes. I love it.
Was it Sundowning or This Place Will
the
Become
first.
Your
It was
Tomb?
the first
the
one.
white with the black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and that like opening song.
Yeah.
Just like
so good.
And their
man.
albums are very listenable through.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like banger, filler.
No,
filler
see the thing.
banger.
I think the thing that I love about it, because I'm a sucker for hardcore music. We've talked about that on here. But the thing I love about Sleep Token is it's hardcore, but it's still like melodic, right? So there's a lot of like music that you've been like, oh, you got to listen to this, and it's just like sludge or grunge or whatever you call it, but just like heavy metal, but like I can only take so much of that, right? August Burns Red is the only band I can actually listen to consistently that's like that.
And Architects.
Architects has melodies, though. They have singing.
Well, yes. I mean, August Burns Red.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
So anyways, Sleep Token, though, I just love it because it does give me the heavy metal that I want, the da-dum, whatever.
But a little bit. A
little bit, not too much. But then it goes into, a very melodic verse and chorus, and then he adds it all, or they add it all in the end, where he's singing, beautiful melody and harmonies over this, very heavy. It's very good contrasty music. Yeah. I love it, right? And because like a lot of the breakdowns you don't see coming, and so like basically you're just kind of like, ooh, let's go when it starts.
Yeah,
in Boston.
That's also the sequel to my first series, The Devil Is Coming.
Remember Crispin Glover?
No.
Remember him? He was the dad in Back to the Future. Anyways, weird guy, but he had like 3 movies that he made. It's called What Is It? How Is It? And Why Is It? Or something like that. And it was just like these messed up fucking movies. Like the trailers just made him look super weird. That's kind of what I would see. You have The Devil Is Coming. The Devil Came. The night the devil came. And then you'd have a third one like
He's gonna come again.
Yeah, I was gonna say The Devil Coming Again.
There's something there. I know it's a good series. I'm gonna pitch it to Blumhouse movies.
Yeah.
I got a 3 series about the devil. It's a little exotic though.
There's no script. I don't have any ideas. I just have 3 titles that you're gonna want. Trust me.
Exotic and erotic.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
I love that. Sleep Token, definitely it's moving its way up to, if we're talking about ranking, it's moving its way up to
The top 150.
I would imagine it's getting up there just because I really enjoyed listening to the whole album from front to back, right? Because I'm a sucker for when that's done correctly, is like if you have good songs that keep you connected 1 to 10 or whatever, and then it's just like a story the whole way through. I love it. I freaking love it. I get into that shit.
It's good. What I thought was something interesting with the movies that I've been watching is it's made me actually want to try shooting like my own little mini movies. Mm-hmm. Because that one I told you about, Creep, that I feel like was made with a few $100.
Yeah, it was like a shitty camera.
I'm sure there was like some money and time and production.
It was a big actor. And
but he wasn't. Well, I mean, he was.
I think he was at that time.
It was 2014. It was before. I don't know when the League came out. And that's just his claim to fame was being in the League as a comedy.
Yeah.
And he does these kind of like messed up movies as well. But just like taking your camera and like the story is what counts. And I know I've said that to myself 1.5 million times, but it's like that's really what makes a good movie.
Yeah.
Like you don't need a Marvel budget.
No, you don't. You just need a good story.
A great story.
Yeah. So then let's talk about it. Why do you want to start filming these little movies?
I don't know. I just think it'd be cool because it's like you have this piece of content that you can show people, be like, hey, it's kind of a movie I made.
Bro, I am all over that. I'm already into it. Alicia and we have been talking about making little movies in our house.
Oh, I don't want to hear about those.
Oh, jeez. I was not thinking about it. Oh, man, I set myself up for that one. Oh, my God. No. So I don't know if I've talked about him, but David Sandberg, he's the director for Lights Out, which is a good horror movie if you haven't seen that. He's the director for Annabelle Creation, and he's also now the director for Shazam 1 and 2. But how he got popular is through YouTube. And what he would do is him and his wife, they would be at home and he would just literally make this little short film with that, just the two of them. Mm-hmm. And so quarantine, he was like just crushing it. Big movie director, just like making these little short films with, you know, the camera that I have, the, you know, lights that I have, just like very budget friendly thing. And so I was telling her about this and she's like, let's do this stuff. So we're actually working on our first like idea right now. But it's just like, we don't need to go anywhere. Say like, you got a weekend, like, hey, well, we don't have anything Saturday. Do you want to like film something on Saturday? You know, I'll bring all my film equipment or bring my lights or something like that. And we can film something. I just love that idea, especially during the winter when I need like a winter project, you know, something to do. And I'm all down to do it more and more and more. Just the more you do it, the more you're going to get better at it. And then you're like, Netflix, hello.
Yeah. We've been filming our own stuff in our house.
Just that, look how good it is. You know, so anyway, no. That would be ideal, of course, but that's not why I want to do it. I just want to do it just because when I filmed the recent movie trailer, basically it was like for a client, but it was like just a dream project that I was working on. Basically, I just loved the process. I think I told you that, right? Just like from scripting to shooting to editing, I just didn't want to work on anything else. And it was like, I was just passionate about how it was ending up. And it was great, man. I loved it. I loved it.
It looked good.
I want more of that, you know? So let's do it.
Well, we have some projects that are coming down our pipeline.
Yeah, we're actually, just for the people listening, we are filming our first big one coming up near the end of the month.
Yeah, it should be ready by month end.
Yeah,
That's
and then
the
we
plan.
also talked about a second idea.
Ooh, yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you want to do that one?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to. I just think we're going to have figure out timing.
Yeah, that's
going to be the biggest thing.
But we're excited about it because we have talked about on here that we are wanting to make more little videos. And then now we're actually like, let's just do it. Let's pick a day and do it.
Yep. We're going to be the video guys that put out some awesome stuff, and people are going to be like, God.
I mean, you know, and I think it's just
stop.
Process. I'm excited for just like the a constant, you know, creation. Mm-hmm. I think I'm excited for it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's going to be good to flex our muscle in that area. And like, I don't know, I just want to show people like, I just like the idea. Like, there's a lot of people that aren't interested in making films or doing any of that stuff, but I just want to show people like putting our mind to something and then doing it. Mm-hmm. And hopefully like somebody be like, dude, those guys 6 years ago didn't even do much video, roughly, you know, whatever. Right. Like, or maybe me specifically.
Right.
And it's like, then they learn something and now they're doing it and now they're having fun. Yep. And I just want like everybody to like find something like that. Like, what is something you like doing and why aren't you like trying to do it more?
I think the thing too is like, a lot of people are like, well, I don't know what my thing is. I don't know how to find that. And one thing that I've always said, and I've heard it too before said, is like something that you zone out on. Like for me, making films or, you know, TV or videos or whatever, it's like I zone out when I'm working on that stuff.
Sure.
And I could work on it for 10 hours in a day and haven't even eaten anything. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, wow, that was like really quick. You know, it's like you zone out on something when you're editing or whatever that you're really into. And that's something that you should pursue, right? That's the thing. It's like, and that's what I'm realizing that, since I've been 30 is like, that's what I really, really like. And it's like, I want to pursue more of this. I want to pursue that feeling, that of like excitement. And I can't wait for people to see this. And I'm just loving the process of working on it. I want that more. I want that more. I want it. I want
that. It's kind of like Benny with like woodworking or something, like something you just would do even if you weren't getting paid.
Yep.
I mean, it's like,
that's what we want to do with these videos is like, we just want to do them just because we've had these ideas for years. And I think it doesn't matter if we make money off of them or they go anywhere or people watch them. It's just like, I think we're going to have fun making them. Because it's like, we've made videos before, just the two of us, but now we're kind of adding a little bit more like, all right, let's add a crew, like let's go a little bit bigger and have it be a little bit more cinematic. and get a little bit more, just put some money towards it just to have it look good. And I think I'm excited to be like, yo, we did this.
Yeah.
And look how freaking.
Look how awesome we are.
Not just that, but just look at our first video and look at the last video we just did.
Sure.
So, and we're all saying this before our
it's
next,
even done.
before we even filmed it. But I'm a little kind of curious because what if it's absolute shit? And we're just look at us. And then it's really? That's what you guys did? Oh my God.
Well, that's the risk we're willing to take.
Yeah.
Well, I think we covered just about freaking everything we could have ever talked about now.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's the beauty of this. We can be long. We can be short. We can...
Yeah. We
can go deep.
Or we can go shallow. Whatever. It's all up to us. But where can the people find us? All the normal stuff.
I mean, listen to the guy at the end, he says go to...
Oh, yeah, we have that guy at the end,
yeah,
don't we?
Go fixyourselfpodcast.com. Now, we will be revamping some stuff on the website. So right now, it's you basically, all you can do is sign up for a newsletter, which we haven't ever sent out a newsletter. But I think once we start to make these videos and be hey, that's what we'll probably be pushing them out to.
Oh, yeah.
And just be hey, if you follow us on the newsletter, if you signed up through the website, we got a new video out. You want to watch it? It's it's kind of cool. If you know, it's fine.
Tell us if it sucks.
Yeah.
I think our newsletter should just be pictures of us with motivational quotes. Just as headshots of us.
Dude, oh my God. That'd be a funny idea.
You open it, it's just
yeah.
Do you?
Yep. I think that would be a lot of fun. Maybe, I don't know. Let us know. If there is our email at hey@gofixyourselfpodcast.com, and you can just email us too and
send us death threats.
Oh,
send us whatever you
I would
want.
I would love to
I look forward to that day.
Yeah, when we're Kyle, we got our first death threat.
Yeah. Steven, Kyle, I'm going to kill you and wear your skin. Yes. We did it.
Oh, luckily I don't have my address plastered anywhere.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
I do.
Yeah.
It's very easy to find an address.
Oh, yeah. You can find anybody.
It's really crazy.
Anyways, we will see you guys next week.
Thanks for tuning in. Kyle and Steven will be back with a new episode next week. In the meantime, check out gofixyourselfpodcast.com. And remember to always go fix yourself.